Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I've got a Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
The information, audio, and video you are about to see are intended to provide details, as we currently understand them, of an officer-involved shooting that occurred on May 20th, 2023. The following videos may contain strong language as well as graphic images which may be disturbing to some people. Viewer discretion is advised. On May 19th, 2023, at approximately 11 p.m., officers with the Fountain Police Department responded to 3 Taos Circle regarding a domestic disturbance. They contacted James Boyle in the front yard, who claimed his wife, Shauna Boyle, locked him out of his house, prompting him to try to enter through a window. James told both officers he did not want law enforcement on his property. He also stated his dog was aggressive and he did not want officers to shoot it. James was allowed to enter his residence, and officers noted he was hostile towards law enforcement and that 2 officers should respond to the residence for any future incidents. The next day, May 20th, 2023, at approximately 6 p.m., Corporal Zachary Corey and Officer Destin Alvarez with the Fountain Police Department responded to 3 Taos Circle regarding a domestic disturbance, again involving James Boyle. Both officers had been made aware of an incident that occurred the night before, knew James was aggressive towards officers, and were told he had access to weapons in the residence. Before officers arrived, dispatch advised them the alleged victim of the domestic disturbance, Shauna Boyle, did not want a police response. Officers were preparing to leave the area when Brett Boyle, James, and Shauna's adult son drove up to their location. Brett told the officers that his father was threatening to kill his mother and that James had assaulted her in the past. Brett told officers Shauna suffers from a medical condition and takes care of her mother, who is on hospice, so she would not be able to leave on her own. Brett showed Corporal Corey and Officer Alvarez video and audio recordings on his phone of his father making threats towards his mother. Brett also said his father was on a methamphetamine binge and things were getting worse. In the recordings Brett presented to law enforcement, James could be heard telling Shauna that if she called him a liar, he would kill her. Brett told Corporal Corey his father had firearms inside the residence, including a sawed-off shotgun, but he didn't know its current location. Officers decided to contact Shauna to get more information, potentially obtain a protection order for her, and further investigate the domestic disturbance claim Brett had reported to Corporal Corey. Corporal Corey called Shauna and asked if she would come outside to talk to him. Both James and Shauna came out as Corporal Corey approached them at the front door of the residence. As Corporal Corey was walking up to the front porch, he asked James to come over and talk to him. James refused and asked if he was under arrest. Corporal Corey informed James the Fountain Police Department had received calls about multiple domestic disturbances at their residence, including an incident the day prior. James said he didn't believe Corporal Corey, and he backed away, moved towards the front door of the residence, and put his hands in his pockets. Corporal Corey told James to take his hands out of his pockets, at which point James immediately turned and began opening the front door. Corporal Corey grabbed him to prevent him from going inside the residence, where James's son had reported his father had access to firearms. At that point, a physical altercation occurred between Corporal Corey, Officer Alvarez, and James. During the altercation, Corporal Corey pushed James, who fell on top of Shauna. At the same time, the family's pit bull was able to escape the residence as James was attempting to open the front door. The dog attacked Officer Alvarez, pulling him to the ground and biting him in the face and arm. Officer Alvarez broke free from the pit bull and, while still on the ground, retrieved his service weapon. He shot the dog 4 times, killing it. James stood up and began to move toward Officer Alvarez and the front door of his residence. Officer Alvarez had holstered his service weapon and drew his taser on James. After warning James that he would use deadly force, Corporal Corey issued 3 commands for James to stop, which he ignored. Officer Alvarez deployed his taser, striking James in his chest area. The taser seemed to have no effect on him, and he continued to grab for the handle on the front door. Corporal Corey then fired his service weapon 2 times, striking James in the back 2 times. Both officers rendered medical aid to James until paramedics arrived on the scene. At his autopsy, a forensic pathologist determined 2 gunshot wounds caused James's death. He was also found to have been intoxicated with 1,500 milligrams per milliliter of methamphetamine at the time of his death. Now we want to show you the body-worn camera of Corporal Corey.
Yeah, he's outside. Hey, come here, man. Let's talk. Okay, I'll come to you. That's fine.
Am I in a rush?
No, dude, I want to talk. I'm saying that. Please, you go back. Huh? Please, you go back. I want to talk to him.
I'll have Resin contact him up here. So, we're getting some calls about some stuff that's been going on here for a minute.
For a minute?
Yes. Yesterday, multiple contacts with you guys. I guess there's more issues going on with you specifically.
What? How's that possible?
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets for me.
No, I'm not.
Are you armed?
I'm not.
You're hurting my wife! Stop! Please! Stop now! Stop now! Stop now! We'll break all shots fired. There's more units around. Get back! Get the fuck back! Stay where you're at!
I don't have nothing on.
I will shoot you if you come at us again! Stop! Stop!
Stay down!
Stay down! Alvarez, taser! Stop now! Stop! Stop moving! Stop moving! Get on your belly! Put your hands up! Hands up! Stop fighting! Stop! Stay down! Stop! Hold him, Alvarez. Just stay on top of him. Please. Stop!
Okay.
22 start medical emergency. Nose up, 2 gunshot wounds.
Stop!
Stop! Stay back! Stay back!
Stay fucking down!
Keep him down, Alvarez. Keep him there. Keep him there.
I didn't do nothing to you.
Stay down. Stay quiet. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Hands behind your back!
We have medical coming to respond for you.
21, I'm injured.
Alvarez, try to get cuffs on him, okay? Actually,
Here, just put him on me, man. I'm dying.
we have medical coming for you.
I'm dying. Just leave me alone. Oh, God.
What the fuck? Hey, cuffs. What the fuck? This isn't clear. I don't know if anybody else is in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep an eye out. Just get cuffs on.
I'm on
Okay?
it.
Yeah. Good.
Fuck.
Just get cuffs. Okay, hold on.
Oh, shit, I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
Fucking dog almost ate my face off, bro. Holy shit.
Give me your other fucking hands. It's okay. Calm down. He's compliant now, okay? It's okay.
21, one in custody.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Is it just you in the house? Let's just stay here, okay? Hey, are you able to walk, bro? No. You can't walk? No. All right, hold on this, okay? Just catch your breath. 4 Frank 22, we need medical up here now. Send them up.
Stay on your fucking stomach,
Hey,
dude.
it's okay. It's okay, chill, okay? It's okay. We got this.
What the dude on the head, bro?
Bring on medical equipment so we start treating this dude.
Stay down, dude. Please. Okay?
It's okay. We got medical coming, okay? We're going to start treating you. Let's take a look at injuries, okay?
I don't think I'm shot.
Looking for your injuries, okay? Where are you hurting?
I'm good.
Alright. It's going to be back. Stay with me, okay, bro? Stay with me, okay?
Is he shot?
Yeah.
Where?
Back.
Alright, sorry.
You got scissors? Cut up yourself up.
Let me grab my med bag. Please.
It's okay. Mom's inside. You're going to get to tell yourself, okay? Hold on. It's okay. Hold on.
Okay, bro.
You just keep talking to me, man. Hey, there's a female hospice inside. Just give us a minute, sweetheart, okay? Please just give us a minute.
Where's the
Just give us a minute, okay? Can you stay inside for me?
Fuck him. That dog fucked me up bad.
Can you please stay inside?
Where is he? Where are you at?
Get your scissors. Let's cut this off right now, okay? Hold on, sweetheart, okay? We'll come talk in a minute, okay?
Fuck.
Give me scissors.
I can't find it. I know. Just breathe, bro. Just breathe.
Dude. Let me see. Let me see what you got.
Help me out. My hand is fucking. Okay.
Yeah, scissors in here.
Good man.
I don't know.
You have a knife?
Yeah.
Scissors will work. At least get this out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. I got one here. Fuck.
It's okay.
Kill me, bro.
No, dude, it's okay. We got you. We don't want you to die. Need you to roll over a little bit, brother, okay? It's okay.
I'm having trouble with my hand.
Dude,
Yeah. I hear you.
I'll help with that. Just it's okay. Hold on, man. Let me work this, okay? Give me a minute.
He's shot. Help him first, okay?
Yeah.
I got halos and stuff.
Where's he shot? On the back.
I don't know if I'm shot. I got like a dog.
Okay, come on.
Go ahead.
Next, we want to show you the body camera footage from Officer Alvarez.
21. Coach, where we can lift the code now.
Yesterday, more contacts from you guys. I guess there's more issues going on with you specifically.
How's that possible?
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets for me.
No, I'm not.
Are you armed?
I'm not under arrest. I'm over fighting. But I was fighting up. You're hurting my wife. Stop! Dog! Fuck! Stop now! Fuck! Shots fired. There's more units around. Get back! Get the fuck back! Get that gun on me now! Stay where you're at! I don't have no shoot you come at us again! Stop! Stop! Stay down! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now! Stop! Stop moving! Stop moving! Get on your belly! Put your hands up! Hands up! Stop fighting! Stop! Stay down! Leave me alone! Stop! Leave me alone! Hold him out, bro. Leave me alone, please! Stop! Okay. Stop! 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 On your belly! Do it now! Stay back! Stay back! Stay fucking down! Keep him down, Alvarez. Keep him there. Keep him there. I didn't do nothing to you. Stay down. Stay quiet. I did nothing. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. I can't. Hands behind your back! I have medical coming to respond for you. 21, I'm injured. Alvarez, try to get cuffs on him, okay? Okay.
Yeah, just put them on me, man. I'm dying.
We have medical coming for you.
I'm dying. Let me home. What are these guys?
What the fuck? Hey, cuffs.
What the fuck?
This isn't clear. I don't know if anybody else is in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep an eye out. Just get cuffs on him, okay? It's
Yeah.
good.
Fuck.
Just get cuffs. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, I'm good.
You're good, okay?
Fucking dog almost ate my face off, bro. Holy shit. Give me other fucking hands.
It's okay, calm down.
You're not doing
Just be quiet now, okay? It's okay.
21, one in custody.
It's okay.
Ah!
It's okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Is it just you in the house?
Let's just stay here, okay?
I'm
Hey, are
sorry.
you able to walk, bro? You can't walk? Alright, well, hold on this, okay? Just catch your breath. Feel free to give me medical.
Stay on your fucking stomach,
It's
dude.
okay. It's okay, chill, okay? It's okay. We got this.
do all the heck, bro.
Bring on medical equipment.
Stay down, dude. Please. Okay?
Okay, we got medical coming, okay? We're gonna start treating you. Let's take a look at injuries, okay?
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
good?
I don't think I'm shot.
Fuck. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm alive. It's gonna be back. Stay with me, okay, bro? Stay with me, okay? Is he shot? Yeah. Where? Back. Alright, sorry. You got scissors? Cut this stuff out. Let me grab my med bag.
My mom by, please.
Where's he hit, Zach? Just give us a minute, okay? Fuck. Stay inside for me. Fuck him. That dog fucked me up bad. Can you please stay inside? Where is he? Where are you hit? Get your scissors. Let's cut this off right now, okay? Hold on, sweetheart, okay? We'll come talking about it. Okay? Fuck. These scissors. I can't find. I know it. Just breathe, bro. Just breathe. Dude. Let me see what you got. Help me out, my hand is fucked. Okay. Alright, yeah, scissors in here. Good one? I don't know. You have a knife? Yeah. Scissors will work. At least get this out of the way. Yeah. Okay. I got one here. Fuck. It's okay.
Kill me, bro.
No, dude, it's okay. We got you.
Kill me.
We don't want you to die. Need you to roll over a little bit, brother, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay, bro. I'm having trouble with my hand. Dude, yeah, I hear you. I'll put that just... It's okay, hold on, man. Let me work this, okay? Yeah. Give me a minute. He's shot. Help him first, okay? Yeah. I got halos and stuff.
Yeah, like that, Brad.
Where's he shot at? He's back.
Yeah, Brad.
Where'd you get hit? I don't know if I'm shot. I got attacked by the dog.
Okay, come on.
Can we get a second?
Yep.
Pursuant to Colorado law, the Colorado Springs Police Department responded to the officer-involved shooting and initiated an investigation. Once completed, the investigation was sent to the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office for a determination on whether the officer's use of force complied with Colorado law. After completing a thorough review of the facts and evidence, Colorado's 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office has determined the use of deadly physical force by Fountain Police Department Corporal Zachary Corey does not rise to the level of criminal liability based on all the facts and circumstances of this case under the laws of the state of Colorado. No charges will be filed against Corporal Corey.
All right, let's get into this. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. Go back into the little informational stuff. So, to recap, they had responded to this place the day before for domestic disturbance. I don't know if there had been stuff going on prior to this. It could be that there has been some prior stuff, like a year ago maybe. They didn't include it. And that this, being the day right before, they felt was pertinent to add. I have no idea. The fact that he's on meth and he's in this domestic stuff with his woman, I would not be surprised to find out if there had been something going on in the past. But anyway, day before they respond out here to this incident, she locked him out of the house, and he's trying to crawl into the house through a window. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so the next day, May 20th, they go back out there again. And they meet up and kind of stage, I guess you could say, outside this place, because the woman had called and said that she didn't want a police response. So, if there's not a person saying that they're a victim, there's really not a whole lot police can go do at that point. They're kind of limited, so to speak, on how they can go about conducting their investigation. So, the son of them came there and then told the officers that his father was threatening to kill his mother and that he had assaulted her in the past. The audio and video recordings on his phone of the father making those threats, that changes things. So now these officers have something to go off of. They have an investigative lead at this point. Now they can actually go and have a little bit more to go off of. And instead of them just jumping out of the cars and running back up there, they do a tactic of calling and trying to get her to come outside to come talk to them. And I think that's a pretty good tactic. I just wish that they could have got her to come outside and go a little bit further than the front yard. Actually come outside the fence. At least come to the end of the driveway. The son was there. I don't know if the son stayed there for the entire duration of this. I don't know if he got there, showed them video, and then left. But I think they could have used the son to their advantage and had him talk to his mother and have her come outside. But it could also be that the son, he didn't want to be fully involved, didn't want, them knowing that he was the one who called, yada, yada, yada. And that's, a lot of people do that. They'll call police wanting something done, but then they don't want to put their name on paper. They don't want to be that witness, but they want something done. I have no idea if that's what went on or not. But if not, and he was wanting to, play ball, I think they could have used him to their advantage and got him to get the mother to come further outside. One that would have potentially gotten her separated from the husband. He may have lingered back at the house more. And it being further from the house, that could have changed the dynamics of things. He would not have been so close to that front door, would not have put his hands on that door to proceed to go inside, and would not have forced that officer to have to discharge his gun. They would have been outside of the fence, and the dog likely would not have been able to reach them. Sure, a pit bull can jump. He could have cleared that fence no problem and still attacked them. But at least, there being a fence there, a barrier there, that could have been something that prevented that dog from getting in there and screwing up what was going on. And they could have taken him down and put him into cuffs without a whole lot of force needing to be used. But it didn't work out that way. But I do like the mindset that they were using, trying to get her to come out of the house. And when you think about it, that's their house. That's his house. That's the lion's den. When you go to the circus, there is a reason why they have the lions come out of their cages and out onto the area that you'll never see the performer going into the cage with the lions. It's a bit of a mental thing there. So that's another aspect to it. Getting them out of their cage. Getting them out of their domain, their castle. So let's get back into the video aspect of it. All right. So,
Hey, come here, man. Let's stop.
I don't like how they put this text box down here. It kind of obscures some.
Okay, I'll come to you. That's fine.
Am I under arrest?
No.
So she wasn't even outside of the house to begin with. He was fully outside the house. So that's why I said I think they could have used the son to their advantage to get her to come a little bit further outside the house. Despite her having some kind of medical condition, you know, she's obviously doing okay to get up and walk around. They could have, like I said, gotten her to come a little bit further out. Now, I don't know what kind of mother she is, but you know, most mothers, they'll come out for their children, and I have no doubt that she probably would have come out if the son had asked her to come a little bit further down the driveway to talk to her. But the fact that you know, they talked to her, not him, he's obviously in control. You know, he's probably asking her, "Who was that on the phone?" Yada yada yada, and he's out here trying to assert his dominance over his domain here. I can only imagine what kind of conditions this woman has to live under with this domestic abuse that's going on, not just physical but also mental.
Oh, dude, I want to talk.
Bring it back. Please, you go back. Huh? Please, you go back. I want to talk to him.
I'll have Resin contact him up here. So, we're getting some calls about some stuff that's been going on here for a minute.
For a minute.
Yes. Yesterday, multiple contacts with you guys. I guess there's more issues going on with you specifically.
What? How's that possible?
Okay, kick your hands out of your pockets for me.
No, I'm not.
Are you armed?
I'm not.
So, them having that,
Possible.
them having seen the audio video recordings of him, that has probably given them enough to act off of, and is why they are proceeding forward with putting their hands on him and taking control over him for this investigation. I don't know what Colorado laws are like, but him making those threats to kill his wife, in Kentucky, that would be terroristic threatening. In Colorado, have no idea what it is. But him making those statements, it being recorded, gives them enough to act on. Right? It's evidence to be able to do that. If there was nothing there, no video recordings for them to go off of, you know, there's not much they can do. And that's why they were going to be leaving from that scene anyway, because there's nothing to go off of. If the woman is not cooperating, not giving statements, not trying to have legal action taken, I mean, you can't force a confession out of a person. You know, you can't sit there and shake them and say, you know, tell us you're a victim. Like, it don't work like that. And that's why they were going to leave, because there was no investigative leads to go off of. And so if, like I said, if they didn't have those videos and stuff to go off of, they wouldn't have been able to legally go after him and put their hands on him and do all that. So at this point, they are going to be detaining him for the investigation. And probably they had the intent to, I would imagine they probably had the intent to go ahead and charge him with whatever Colorado statute is for making threats to kill someone. I like how they are quick to go ahead and shut him down. He's already, you know, right off the bat, this dude is already aggressive and hostile. and he's in the lion's den. He's in his den, right? So that, from his perspective, his mindset, that gives him a confidence boost in how he's going to be acting. So already he's uncooperative, not wanting to do anything. They give him those verbal commands. He refuses, starts to step away. They immediately act on that. And they go do something. That's the right thing to be doing. Unfortunately, I see so many times people will just keep repeating the orders over and over and over like a merry-go-round, thinking that, you know, something's going to change, like they're actually going to listen and do something. No, they're not. You tell them more than once and they don't do it, chances are telling them 10 more times is not going to make them do it. It is annoying when I see those videos. You know, it's like, don't do that, or I'm going to tell you again not to do it. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you again, don't do it. Like, okay, you need to pull out your makeup and paint your clown face on, because you're not getting anything done at this point.
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets for me.
No, I'm not.
Are you armed?
I'm not under arrest.
Do work.
You're hurting my wife!
So we can't see from either video how the physical altercation ensues. It's very quick. The cameras butt up against him, and we just see clothing pretty much at the very beginning of this. Don't get to see a whole lot. I wish that we could see a little bit more of the physical altercation itself. We can see just a little bit from the second officer's point of view, but not a whole lot.
Are you armed?
So you see him going in to what appears to be take control of this guy's limb. One hand is reaching for his arm, trying to pull it back, gain control over him. He starts to pull him back. This officer goes hands on, but again, the camera's pointed at the shirt and just can't see that much, and then it just goes dark, just like the first video itself. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the second officer's body cam, because I think there's a little bit more that we can see from it, a little bit more action. At least there's more stuff to talk about. And then you can see the little fur missile coming in there. And that, I had a better freeze frame on my earlier take. Probably not going to be able to get it. Sometimes you get lucky on a freeze frame and get the perfect pause. And then there's other times, like, click it like 10, 15 times and can't get it. So, it's probably, I really like to get that freeze frame just right. Alright, this is probably the best I'm going to be able to get it. Yeah, I can't get it right. That sucks because, like I said, the earlier take, I had a good, and if it weren't for the stupid text box in the way.
You're hurting my wife! You're hurting my wife!
All right, perfect freeze frame. It took a minute, but there is a reason why police use dogs as service dogs. Why the military uses dogs as service animals, service dogs. Aside from them being easy to train, I mean, yeah, would it be nice to have a wolf Yeah, sure, it'd be nice to have a wolf, but you can't really train wolves very well. Dogs, regular dogs, on the other hand, they're pretty well trainable. But the other big thing about it is, man, that that vibe that dogs give, it's something else. Like, you can take a dog, like a, pit bull, German Shepherd, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can take one, any one of those dogs, and you put it in a setting and take pictures of it, and it's a cute, adorable dog, right? You're like, "Aw." But then, in an instant, a second, that dog can start to snarl and change its facial expressions. And boy, that is the scariest freaking thing you've ever seen. And you do not want to mess with it. They project this vibe of do not screw with me. I will eat your soul. I don't know. I don't know any other better way to explain it other than that. And they cannot be reasoned with. You can't scare the dog. You can't scare them. You can't intimidate them. You can't barter with them. You can't talk to them. You can't plea with them. You can't reason with them. You can't say, "Oh, hold up, dog. I'll give you a steak. Here. I'll give you a treat." No, they're not listening to you. You can't say, "Oh, you don't come any closer. I'm a kill your handler." No, like, there's nothing you can do to stop them other than taking physical action, like spraying them with pepper spray or shooting them. There's no stopping them, or the handler stopping them. So they are a very formidable force to be reckoned with, and you can see, like, soon, like, this dog latches on. It's not letting go. I have been able to put on a bite sleeve for canine training, and a friend of mine, he was a handler. He just got a new dog. It was a Belgian Malinois, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure. But this dog, man, like, you see the videos of it, and that's one thing, to see the videos of these dogs doing bites. But when you put that sleeve on, and you got that thing out there in front of you, and they release that dog, and that dog hits that sleeve and bites down, and you look down, and they are lashed onto that thing, and their eyes, just the way they look, like, it is a sight to see. It puts it in the back of your, like, even with the bite sleeve on, it's training, they're not really hurting you. It puts it in the back of your head. I do not want to mess with this dog. Like, this dog will eat my soul. It's very, very primal, very, very primordial, when a dog latches on. So, like I said, there is a reason why dogs are good service animals for guard work and apprehending. They're just, yeah, they're savage. So, this officer looking down and seeing this dog latched onto him, whew, man, can only imagine what's going through his head. And then the feeling of it when the dog is biting down. They can exert a few hundred pounds of foot pressure per square inch. And you also have to think, too, that dog is not as big as that officer, and that dog drags him down to the ground. Even for me, like I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'8", and even in that training evolution, when he released that dog, and that dog came running at me and lashed onto that sleeve, like it knocked me back, and I'm a big guy. Like if I went professional football, like be a hell of a freaking lineman. And that little dog moved me. And when you watch videos and see in person, the canines taking people down, they are small animals and they are taking grown men down. They're strong. They really are. So this dog has latched on. At this point, it's fight time. So and it sucks because it was fight time for the human, and now the dog has gotten involved. And so now he has to fight this dog to defend himself. And what really sucks about this whole situation is the dog was being a good boy, right? He's protecting his master. He's just a dog, and he doesn't understand the social stuff, and he doesn't understand that those are police, they're good guys. The dog doesn't understand that his master is a shithead. His master is a bad guy. All he knows is that human is his friend, and he is coming to his friend's side to help him. So that's really the saddest thing about this whole incident, is that poor dog, being a good boy, coming up to take up for his human, and dying in the process. Yeah, I feel more compassion for the dog than I do the meth head guy. But anyway, at this point, this dog has a hold of his dominant hand, his fighting hand. So what are his options at this point? Well, it's going to be hard for him to draw his gun with his dominant hand with a dog attached to it. So what can he do with his non-dominant hand? Could he deliver a hammer strike with his fist down to the top of the dog's snout and head area? Sure. People have punched dogs before, attacking them, and sometimes it gets them to release, sometimes it does not. So he could have delivered a hammer strike. It being a pit bull, I kind of seriously doubt that striking it once or twice would make that thing go away. Pit bulls are known for being very vicious dogs. So the next thing that he could be doing with his non-dominant hand is driving one of his phalanges into that dog's eye. He could reach over with his non-dominant hand and ram his thumb into that dog's eye. The eye is there's a lot of nerves there. Lots of sensitivity. Pressing into that eye, I believe, would most likely cause that dog to release. Now, will that cause the dog to stay back? No, probably not. The dog would probably reattack. But that could buy enough time to be able to put your other arm out as a sacrificial object, right? And then draw your gun. If pressing in with the thumb doesn't get them to immediately release, and you're able to keep driving it in until you reach the back of the ocular cavity and touch bone, that would probably, I think, not only cause the dog to release, but make the dog go away. Because it would be an immense amount of pain. Now, is that 100%? No. That dog could very well have that person's whole thumb go into its eye socket, destroy the eye, and like I said, go knuckle deep and touch the bone in the back, and the dog could still continue its attack. Not very likely, but it could still happen. Accessing weapons. Could he access his gun with his non-dominant hand? I don't know. I don't know how his setup is and if he would be able to do that. And I wouldn't think it would be a great thing to try to do under those circumstances, because that would increase the likelihood of dropping the gun. Could he have released the taser from its holster? Potentially. That could have been a possibility. Pepper spray. Yeah, could he have accessed the pepper spray and sprayed the dog? Potentially. If he had an edged weapon on him, on the support side behind a magazine, could he have accessed that and then started stabbing the dog? Potentially. The problem with pokey things is it takes a lot of pokes to get an aggressor to become physically incapacitated. So when we talk about incapacitation, there is a mental incapacitation where you instill enough fear into a person that they are no longer motivated to attack you. And then there's physical incapacitation. And with physical incapacitation, there is immediate incapacitation, such as putting a bullet in the brain. And then there's a bit of a delayed physical incapacitation, such as poking a bunch of holes in someone and waiting for enough blood to leave them so that they then shut down. So with a pit bull like this, it would be possible that if he had pulled a knife and started stabbing the dog, that the dog could fight through that pain and not be scared. Because remember, like I said, dogs make such great service dogs because you can't scare them. Like, I can't think of anything where a working dog has been sent after someone and then someone, took a stance and growled and, try to, posture enough to scare that dog. Like, it's not happening. All right, you can't scare a dog. I mean, yeah, you can sneak up on them and scare them. I scare my dog all the time. But a working dog, a fur missile being launched at someone, that someone is not going to intimidate the shit out of that dog and scare it so bad that it's like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to mess with this human. It's not going to happen. So, if he started stabbing the dog, I don't think the dog would have become mentally incapacitated at that point. I think that the pit bull would have fought through that pain, and it would have been the delayed reaction of achieving the physical incapacitation, waiting for that dog to bleed out. Could stab it into the eye and cause it to back away and disengage through major pain. But other than that, multiple pokes until it bleeds out. Which, when you think about it, that is one of the negative things about carrying a knife for defensive purposes. It's not like the Steven Seagal movies where you stab a person once and then boom, they're done. There's lots of times where people are stabbed multiple times during a fight, and they didn't even know that they were stabbed. They thought they were being punched. And they didn't figure out that they had been stabbed until the fight had ended, and then they're bleeding everywhere. So adrenaline and endorphins are pumping through the body. And so it takes, like I said, multiple pokes to create enough holes to cause enough blood to leave the body to where the body can't work anymore without, sufficient amount of blood. The dog, once the guy goes down on the ground, re-engages, and I think that was the point where he got bit in the face, is when he fell down to the ground. One of the things about dogs is, like other predators, they go for the throat. And those canines, his teeth, those will dig in. And like I said, these dogs can exert a few hundred pounds of foot-pounds of pressure per square inch. That dog could literally rip his throat out. The canines, the teeth would pierce into the neck, sever the carotid. This officer could bleed out very quickly. So this is a 100%, 110% a deadly force encounter. And like I said, this dog is being a good dog, right? He's being a good boy. He's protecting his human. But it's unfortunate the dog just doesn't understand society and, people. Doesn't know that the police are good guys. So this officer has to act and has to use deadly physical force.
Fuck! Stop now! Stop now! Fuck! Stop now! Fuck!
He starts to kick at the dog, and so he's kind of in a supine, kind of lateral position here, and he starts to kick the dog and then extends the gun and starts shooting. And we can't see anymore because they put the blur box up, and so that limits our visibility. But when you are firing from your back or your side, that changes the angles of things. And now your lower extremities are potentially flaggable by your muzzle. So when we do firearms training for shooting from a supine position, we start off slow and we're very cognizant of where the muzzle is at, rising over the knee, making sure that everything's clear before we start sending rounds downrange. Because you've got body parts that are now within flagging angles of your muzzle. So this is something that when it comes to firearms training needs to be practiced and trained for, shooting from laying on the ground. If your firearms training has never included you shooting from the ground, laying on the ground, then you haven't got real firearms training. Because there is more positions to shoot from than just standing on your feet. There is more than just a Weaver stance and a isosceles stance.
Stop now! Stop now!
So he fires multiple rounds into the dog. I believe they said the dog was shot 4 times. I have witnessed a dog, and it being a pit bull too, of all things. I have witnessed a pit bull be shot in the head 6 times with a .38 revolver. And it lived. It went down and was temporarily knocked out, but got back up and started moving around. And it took a 44 caliber revolver to finally put it down. The shots from the 38 were fired point blank. The person went to the dog that was fighting another dog, and had a latch around had latched onto its neck and throat areas, trying to kill it. They went over to him, actually grabbed the pit bull by its collar, put the revolver to its head, and pop, 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 pop. And that damn thing survived. Of course, no necropsy was performed or anything like that, so no idea, where the bullets exactly went. But I would say that they ricocheted off of the skull. And that happens sometimes with canines, is they get shot in the head, and they've got some thick skulls, and the bullets will hit at a certain angle and ricochet. Yeah, they'll do a little Bugs Bunny thing, and this happens to humans too, right? Humans get shot in the head, bullets hit bone, goes through skin, hit bone, and then I guess you could say ricochets, travels along bone under the skin, kind of like the Bugs Bunny cartoon where you see him tunneling under the ground, and then boom, pops out the other side. Now it's also possible too that maybe some of the rounds went into the dog's head and lodged into the brain, and this has happened to humans as well. There have been humans who've been shot in the head, bullets entered the brain, and they survived. There's been times where not only they survived, but were up walking around right after it. So, just because you have shot something and it has gone down to the ground does not mean that it is 100% out of the fight. And usually I start talking about this kind of stuff when the officers will handcuff someone after shooting them, because a lot of people question that. They're like, why are they handcuffing him after they've been shot? And the reason being is you don't have x-ray vision. You don't know exactly where those bullets have gone and what they have done. The person or the animal could be temporarily knocked out, and they could get back up again. So a famous case that is often referenced in law enforcement and self-defense training is the FBI Miami shootout back in the 1980s between the FBI and a couple of bank robbers / armored truck robbers. FBI was telling them, or looking for them, saw them, started telling them, try to initiate traffic stop. They crash, and then boom, gunfight initiates. At the beginning part of this gunfight, the driver of the suspect vehicle took a round to the head, and it temporarily knocked him out in this gunfight. His buddy crawled out the car, took a round through the side of the chest. That round went into his chest and went into his heart area. That was going to be, if that was the only round that he took, he would have eventually died from that, but it was not immediately physically incapacitating. He went on to take a couple more rounds, and then the guy who got shot in the head woke back up during the middle of this gunfight, crawled out of the car, and then went back to one of the FBI agents' cars to try to steal it and do a getaway. Multiple other instances of people being shot in the head and getting back up. Lots of, war stories of soldiers getting hit in the head and continuing to fight. It didn't hit the switch part of the brain. So, with that being said, when it comes to a dog and firing multiple rounds into it, and then it goes down and doesn't move anymore, what do you do after that point? Because you can't throw handcuffs on a dog to secure it. Like, it's not, they're not going to fit on its limbs, right? They'll slip right off. If it has a collar, And in this scenario right here where there's a fence, I do think it's plausible to take your cuffs out, put one hinge through the loop on the collar and then the other to the fence and secure it to that fence. That way, if that dog got back up and tried to re-engage in the fight, it's going to be tethered to that fence and can't do anything else. If that is not an option, then the second best thing to do is take some well-aimed shots, get your sights lined up, aim, and definitely put rounds into the heart box, into the brain, to know for sure that that dog is down. So, pretty much to my knowledge, when it comes to vicious animals in different states, it is legal to put down a vicious dog. Right? Dogs are property. They don't have obviously same rights and protections as humans. Use of force laws don't pertain to animals or anything like that. So with a dog, that is something that you can legally do. After you've shot it a couple times, it's gone down, you can actually stand there, take a good well aimed shot, and put a couple good rounds into the heart box or right through its ear to make sure it's not going to get back up. Obviously, you can't do that with humans. That would, under law, be considered murder. But with dogs, there's nothing there to prevent you from doing that. And that's what I would recommend if you can't tether it to something afterwards. Because the thing that would suck is if that damn thing got back up and re-continued the fight. And also from a humane standpoint, to make sure that it's not suffering. Like, that would be the right thing to do. To make sure that it's not suffering anymore.
Fuck! Get back! Get the fuck back! Get that gun on me now! Stay where you're at! I don't have no... I will shoot if you come at us again! Stop! Stop! Stay down! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now!
So from this angle of the taser, can't see very well what's going on. So let me switch back to the first officer's body cam, and we can kind of see what those probes are doing, and we can talk a little bit more about the taser.
If you come at us again, stop! Stop! Stay down! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now!
All right, so he has a Taser 7. Taser 7 has 2 cartridges in it so that you can fire this thing 2 separate times. We see that he fires first into his chest area, and then he fires again down lower. So what he is doing is, and it's hard to say for sure, what's going through his mind, because you can't read minds in a video, obviously. So either he has and because it happens so fast, he is either consciously in his head recognizing the fact that he is so close to this guy that both probes, when he fires them, are going to be so close together, he's not going to be able to achieve NMI, neuromuscular incapacitation. So the way, for those of you who don't know, for the way a taser works is the probes. When the probes are spread far enough apart, it causes what's known as NMI, neuromuscular incapacitation. That's where you see the whole body lock up, like they're stiff as a board, and then they fall backwards, stiff as a board, right? When those probes are so close together, you don't get that. It doesn't work. It's just the same as if you took the cartridges out of the taser gun and cycled the end of it where you see the sparks come out and just hold it to someone. Or just use a regular stun gun. It's just pain compliance at that point. So, I think it's possible that this officer knew that he was so close, fired the first cartridge up high, and then fired the second cartridge down low. When you fire both cartridges, the arcs will go between both cartridges and energize all 4 wires that are coming out of it. So that's a technique that you can use for the taser that has 2 cartridges in it. If you have the older style taser, the X26 Echo or Papa model, if you fire your probes too close, the only way to remedy that is to take the taser gun itself and drive it into a lower point of the person to complete that circuit, known as follow-up drive stun. So I think that he knew he was too close, and that's why we see him fire so quickly those 2 cartridges.
I will shoot you if you come at us again. Stop! Stop! Stay down! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now!
Unfortunately, it didn't have an effect on this guy. We can hear the taser pretty loud. A loud taser means you do not have a good connection. When you hear the taser going and it's loud, the probes have not connected to the body. When the taser has connected to someone, instead of hearing the it'll be a more subdued it'll be a little bit quieter. So the fact that we hear it so loudly tells me there's not a connection going on. And it's hard to tell from this angle exactly where he shoots at. But we'll switch back to the other video to see from the taser officer's point of view where he pops him with taser.
I will shoot you if you come at us again. Stop! Stop! Stay down! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now! Stop! Stop now! Stay down! Alvarez taser! Stop now!
It's so hard to tell. The angle on the camera is not the greatest. He does have a jacket on. It doesn't appear to be a very thick jacket, but it could have been thick enough and loose enough to where when he fired the first cartridge into him, one or both of the probes just did not go all the way through and make contact with the skin. And the bottom cartridge, it could be that
Stay down! Stay down!
the pants that he has on,
Stop
same
now!
thing. You know, this is known as a clothing disconnect. Unfortunately, it happens. But due to the camera angles and everything, just can't tell for sure what exactly is going on. But you can hear it. It's loud.
Stop moving! Stop moving! Get on your belly! Put your hands up!
He delivers another cycle. He's not getting the desired effect, and he immediately goes down to complete the circuit by driving the gun, taser gun, into his lower extremity. So at the end of the taser gun itself, when you take the cartridges out, there's these little metal contact points at the end. And when you energize it, you'll see the arcs go between them. You know, the little electric arcs. On the cartridge itself, there's, again, little metal contacts at the end so that when these things come out, you can do this follow-up drive stun. You can press those ends into a person, and it completes the circuit. With this guy having basically rolled from the inside fenced area to the outside fenced area, I think that the wires have probably broken at this point. And the taser wires are pretty fragile. They do break pretty easily. And with this much moving around, I'd say it's probably pretty likely that the wires have broke and he's just not getting any good connection at this point now.
Hands up! Stop fighting! Stop! Stay down! Leave me alone! Stop! Leave me alone! Hold him out, bro. Leave me alone, please! Stop! Okay? okay. Stop.
So at this point, the taser is completely ineffective. It's not doing what it needs to be doing. It's not achieving NMI. At this point, I think it would have been wise to abandon the taser. I don't think that he could successfully put it back into his holster and make it transition. Instead, I think that probably the better thing to do would be have pitched it over the fence, get it far away as possible, and then transition to either OC or start going to heavy decentralization techniques, delivering fist strikes, hammer strikes, whatever, to this guy's head. Basically, punching him into submission.
Stop! On your belly, do it now! Stay back! Stay fucking down!
Keep him down, Alvarez. Keep him there. Keep him there.
I didn't do nothing to you.
Stay down. Stay quiet. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Hands behind your
I
back!
have medical coming to respond for you.
21, I'm injured.
Son, okay? It's good.
What the fuck?
Try to get cuffs on him, okay?
Okay. Yeah, just put him on me, man. I'm done.
We have medical coming for you.
What are these guys?
What the fuck? Hey, cuffs.
What the fuck?
This isn't clear. I don't know if anybody else is in here.
Okay.
Like his mindset there. So he's talking about he's unsure if there's anybody else in there, has not been cleared yet. So he has good 360-degree awareness of what's going on around him. It's very easy to get tunnel vision on things and be sucked into what's right there in front of you and lose that situational awareness. So kudos to him for maintaining that 360-degree awareness and being aware of the fact that they have not completely dominated their space and cleared it and rendered it safe. There could be another potential threat somewhere around. And the woman herself, the domestic violence victim, she's still around there somewhere. And she could be a potential threat. When it comes to domestic violence incidents, these are some of the most dangerous things that law enforcement can go on. And these are things where lots of law enforcement officers have been injured and are killed from. They'll go to these calls, and the woman could have been beat up by the man, be beaten to a bloody pulp, and police go to arrest the man and put him in cuffs and take him away, and then the wife who had the crap beat out of her is now jumping on the police, attacking them, being mad at them for arresting the love of her life.
But keep an eye out. Just get cuffs on him, okay? It's good.
So you can see that he is having some difficulty now using his limb there, his extremity. The damage that the dog has done, it's evident. Like he's having some difficulty gripping those cuffs. He's grunting, and then later on, you hear him say, he can't. His hand's affected. You see him trying to open the halo chest seal. He's having a hard time doing it. But immediately after being bit by that dog, he was able to successfully draw that gun and fire. It is amazing what adrenaline and endorphins can do for you. I've had something, I guess you could say, kind of similar to this. I wasn't bit by a dog, but I had something similar happen to where I incurred pretty serious injury to my hand, and I was able to do stuff with it immediately afterwards, and then within a matter of about a minute, like my hand was out of the fight, like it was done with. So this officer, he is now no longer 100% effective. He is no longer at 100% fighting capability because of this. So now that's something that I don't know he's thinking about it or not, but that's something that he needs to consider if he can recognize it is, hey, this person I'm with, they're injured. They're not at their peak capacity right now. They're not able to perform like they were a minute 20 seconds ago.
Fuck.
Just get caught. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, I'm good.
You're good, okay.
Fucking dog almost ate my face off, bro. Holy shit.
And that's another important aspect of why it's necessary to gain control so quickly of it after incurring some type of injury like that. Is as time goes on, you may begin to lose more control over that limb, and to the point where you can't use it anymore. So the sooner you can get things done with it while you're still able to operate it, get that done. Because once you get to that diminished, that point of no return, you're done. You're out of the fight. So that incident that I talked about with my hand, man, this is a while back. Partner was dealing with a person, a drunk guy, and I was dealing with him, and the guy became combative, and I'm a little bit of a distance away as I'm walking up on this. They're outside downtown area, and talking to this guy, dealing with him, and the guy becomes combative and starts to attack my partner there, and before I can get to him, they both go down to the ground, and their angle, my angle, my position, their position, the angle, the way it was, it looked like to me, partner sitting on the ground, bad guys right behind him, and it looked like, because the bad guy was reaching around to his gun side, it looked like to me he was reaching for his gun. And so as I get right up there on them, the guy's side of his face, I see it. I make the decision that I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to drill him right in the jaw. Try to go for a knockout. And I send it, and mid-flight, his head turns, and no longer is his jaw in the path, but the back of his head, and bam, I hit, and instantaneously I feel it. Like, I don't feel like the crack or anything, but I hit and I feel pain. And what I did was I broke my metatarsal, the third one. The middle finger metatarsal. So, when you make a fist and you got that knuckle right there, that bone in between that knuckle and the wrist, yeah, it snapped. And as soon as I hit him, like I said, I didn't feel it snap or anything. I couldn't, feel the cliche, or whatever. It's just pain. It's just immense pain. And as soon as I hit him, I knew. It was like, I can't do that again. I knew something happened. And then he's still on the ground, him partner fighting. And what I'm able to do is I grab this dude by his head, like their positions the way they are. So I'm like kind of behind this guy, and I reach down, and my fingers kind of curl up under his jaw, his mandible, and I just kind of, and the sides of my palms are into his side of his head, ears, jaw area, whatever. But I just put my big old hands around his jaw, head, neck area. I basically lift him up a little bit. I do a lift and a thrust. Like I pick his ass up and I launch his ass across the pavement. Now, it's not like I lift him completely off the ground and he's in the air. No, it's not like that. But I lift him up off my partner and sling him backwards. And he does move. Like, I sling him back, and he goes back a few feet. And he starts to get back up. I reach down, pull out OC, and I paint his face. I give him more than a second burst. I don't know how many seconds I held that thing down, but I just remember watching the stream and working it and just painting his face. Put that back, and then a big crowd of people start to form. You know, all these Bosnians are coming out, and you know they're hooting and hollering, and some of them are speaking their language, and I can't understand what they're saying, and then some are speaking English. And a couple of the ones speaking English, you know, you can hear them going, "Oh, that's fucked up," blah 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 blah, and they are starting to act a little aggressive, and so, you know, doing a scan, 360, whatever, and I remember reaching down to my handgun and go to try to push the hood down to at least, you know, disengage that, and I couldn't do it, like. And it was just a matter of seconds after hitting, feeling that immense pain, pulling dude off, throwing him, spraying him, and then the whole big crowd starting to form us around us, that I was unable to use that hand anymore. And that hand was out of the fight. Like, there's no way I was going to be able to actuate the safety mechanisms on that gun. Like, my hand, like, I couldn't articulate my fingers. It was just, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like Happy Gilmore, Chubbs with his little wooden hand. You know, it's like it was just stiff. I couldn't do anything with it, and that was kind of a scary moment. You know, being surrounded by all these people, and it's like I can't fight. My hand is screwed up. But yeah, very critical to get things done as quickly as possible before you start to lose operational ability of that limb.
Give me your other fucking hands.
It's okay, calm down.
Just get your breath. Just gotta put stuff in. Let me grab my med bag.
My mom by, please.
So he keeps his med kit in this back seat. Let's back this up some so we can see the back seat a little bit more. So there's no obvious cage behind his seat. And at first, because it's so quick, I was like, well, there's no cage in the back of this car at all. But you can see the reflection of the little partition right here in the middle. So this is the style of cage where you can only put one person in the back seat, but that frees up space in behind the driver, which is really nice for tall people. And it also gives you better storage options too. You can put things in the back right there that are more easily accessible. And he's utilizing this to keep his med bag right there easily accessible. It's very quick to grab, don't have to dig through stuff to get it. Boom, it's right there. I've seen a lot of videos where officers go to get their med bag and it's in the trunk and they have to dig through stuff to find it. You never want to have your med bag at the bottom of the pile. You always want to keep it at the top. For him, since he has this cage set up like this, he's able to put it in his back seat and have it very easily accessible. So I like this setup there. It appears as though the bag that he has is not, how do I word it? It's not like it's a packaged product that you buy from a company as a first aid kit. Like, I don't think I've seen any first aid kits or anything that look like that. It looks like to me he has just taken a bag that he has and has filled it with medical stuff. That's a pretty good option if you have all the extra supplies to be able to do it with. Typically, IFAKs and stuff like that are sold as pretty small kits. And it's usually just enough stuff in there for one person. he has his set up with so much stuff in it that it can obviously be used on more than one person. He seems to have some difficulty finding some cutting instrument. I think that it's best to have your shears or your cutting instrument on the outside of that bag where it's easily accessible by anyone, and no one has to dig through the pouches and stuff to figure out where this thing is at. And since he can't find it, he pulls a pocket knife out and hands it to the other guy, and he uses that pocket knife to cut clothes. I don't think a pocket knife is the best thing to be using to cut clothes off. Yeah, it works, but you also run the risk of stabbing the person trying to cut the clothes off or cutting them with the blade. And when it comes to providing medical care, the idea is not to do any more harm, right? And so when you have a knife trying to cut clothes, that's the risk that you run. You run the risk of causing more harm. So EMT shears are the best thing to have for removing clothing. It can cut through pretty thick clothing, cut through leather, no problem. The rescue hooks and the seatbelt cutter things, yes, those can cut through clothes, but they're not as efficient, I think, as shears. Shears are pretty cheap. Like the real cheap ones are like less than $1, I think. If not, then they're around $1 mark. Like, they don't cost a whole lot of money. Now you can get some nice shears. Don't get me wrong. You can get, I think Gerber makes an EMT shear. It's like this foldable shear. It's a heavy duty grade. It's like $50-$70 or something like that. But your disposable shears, pretty cheap. Buy a whole pack of them, no problem, and stash them around multiple places. Removing the clothing as much as possible is important so that you can see what you're working with. Let me go back into the first officer's body cam footage for the medical stuff here, because we see a little bit more from his perspective here. So he's trying to figure out where this guy's shot at. He knows he's shot in the back, but we just don't see like a whole lot of blood, gushing out or anything like that. Sometimes that happens with gunshots. There's just not a whole lot of blood that comes out, and it can be kind of misleading sometimes, because you just don't see a whole lot of blood coming out, and you may be thinking, "Oh, this guy didn't get shot," when in fact they did get shot. And then there's other people get shot and they bleed like a stuffed pig, right? So the bag here, like I said, looks like just a regular bag that he has stuffed with a bunch of medical stuff in there. We can see like what looks like maybe a molly right in here on the side, some kind of attaching point or lashing point. That could have been a good place to put some shears, or maybe at the top, something like that. Lots of goodies in there. This is obviously a homemade, so to speak, little bag right here. The issue that I have at this point is this guy has holes in him, and this guy has holes in him. Bodily fluids, bloodborne pathogens. Bloodborne pathogens can enter your body a whole lot easier through cuts, through breaks in your skin. And with this big old gash on his arm and then on his face, those are two big open points of his body. Those are like two big doorways for bloodborne pathogens to be like, here we go, boys, and go inside. He does not need to be messing around with this dude who's been shot. The risk of catching a bloodborne pathogen is very high in his condition. And when it comes to anyone, you have to assume that they have something. You just have to. Because you can't tell by looking at someone if they do or do not have AIDS. There's just no way of knowing. Now, I mean, you can make some pretty good educated guesses, but there's really no way of knowing if anybody has anything or not. And when you are dealing with the criminal element of society, that is where you really have to assume that they've got something. Because if they have lived their life in a manner where they have not made a whole lot of good, sound decisions in life, then chances are they probably didn't make a whole lot of good, sound decisions with things in regards to protecting themselves from bloodborne pathogens. There's a pretty good chance they probably had unprotected sex with some questionable people. If he's doing meth, there's a chance that he's probably sharing needles with someone, right? So with these open wounds on him, he's out of the game when it comes to medical care, in my opinion. And I think that something like that should realistically be written into SOPs or TTPs, SOGs, whatever you want to call them. I also think that when it comes to basic first aid training, stuff like that, I do think that stuff like that should be added into the list of reasons for a person to decline to provide care. So, for example, with CPR, one of the things that you can justify saying that you didn't want to do it is scene safety. It's not safe. Could broken skin like that from a dog bite, could that mean that the scene's no longer safe for him, that he is susceptible to exposure? I think so. But it would be nicer if it was just plain English like that. Another reason for not providing CPR or first aid, is like signs of obvious death. Like there's decay going on, they're decapitated, stuff like that. Otherwise, it's an expectation to provide medical care. So, to get people protected, I would like to see language like that added into those training curriculums, and then also for agencies and companies to have it in their SOPs that, hey, if you've got holes in your body, blood's coming out, you don't need to be touching other people or messing with other people who've got blood coming out of them too. Now, it's one thing to be engaged in a physical altercation. You're fighting, they're fighting, whatever. The quote, it is what it is. But this guy's secured, he's in cuffs, there's no need to be touching him anymore. No need to be furthering that risk. You just can't take that risk. Bloodborne pathogens they're life changing. They're life ending. AIDS. Like, you get AIDS, that's going to shorten your lifespan, right? You're going to end up getting sick from something and dying from that because your immune system is gone. And aside from that, it changes your lifestyle. Like, if you're young and haven't started a family yet, and you got AIDS at work, who do you think in their right mind is going to want to enter into a relationship with you and have kids with you when you have AIDS? Not very likely that that's going to occur. So it can kind of socially isolate you in a way And, at that point, to have some kind of, reasonable kind of life, it's almost like you'd have to find another person that has AIDS to live life with them. Because, like I said, like what person with no AIDS is going to very openly, voluntarily just go enter into a relationship with someone who does? There's just not that many people there. All right, so I think I've touched on everything that needs to be touched on. Go back into this very last slide right here where it talks about the Colorado's 4th Judicial District. So in this agency's press release, they say that it's not that they're saying that this did occur, but they just put in there that they determined that the use of deadly physical force by this guy did not rise to the level of criminal liability based on all the facts and circumstances of the case under the laws of Colorado. With it being Colorado, I think he's kind of lucky that they didn't try to throw him under the bus, because Colorado is kind of one of those very liberal places. And looking at a news article, there's some little bit extra added to this, other than just, no evidence was found to charge him. In this article from Gazette.com, the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office ruled last week that the shooting was concerning but not criminal. Why is the District Attorney's Office saying that it's concerning? So that kind of puts it in my mind that there's a possibility that the District Attorney's Office, had they had some more quote-unquote damning evidence with their interpretation, that they probably would have tried to have this officer charged. I think the officer was 100% justified in using deadly physical force on this guy. His partner had just been attacked by a dog, was visibly injured, and was laying on the ground. He appeared to be not 100% in the fight anymore. And then this guy, who is known to have weapons, has been showing violence, goes towards that door like he's going to go inside the house. I believe that officer legitimately feared that if that guy had went into that house, he would have got a gun and come back out with it. And with his partner laying on the ground at that point, not knowing fully what his physical condition was like, he may not have been able to get his partner out of there safely before this dude could come back out and just start shooting. So I firmly believe that he used the right amount of force in this. He fired a couple rounds, got the desired effect on making this guy stop, and he went from there. Of course, there is a lawsuit going on. The wife has filed lawsuit through their attorney, and the wife is saying that the police shouldn't have did what they did, blah blah blah. And I'll read this article. The wife of a man who was shot and killed by Fountain police officers last year has filed a federal complaint against the city of Fountain and 2 officers involved. Fountain police said James Boyle was shot twice in the back after 2 officers responded. Blah, blah, blah. We know all that. Talks about the son. Blah, blah, blah. We know about that. Boom. We know about that. Know about that. Know about that. It's just basically restating everything we just watched And then it gets to that part where the 4th Judicial District Attorneys ruled the shooting was concerning but not criminal. Shauna told Gazette media partner KOAA that the 2 officers shot an unarmed man and should not be on the force. She said, "I just want justice for my husband, my family, and for this not to happen to other people. The more you get away with, the worse you're probably going to do." Shauna said she has 2 seizure disorders, which makes it hard for her to remember the details from that night. However, she said she remembers not wanting the police at their home that night. In an interview after the shooting, Corporal Corey said that he thought if James went back into the home, he would get a firearm and kill somebody. Officer Alvarez said in an interview that he knew James to be anti-law enforcement. He said he did not want the situation to turn into a barricaded suspect or a hostage situation since Shauna's elderly mother was also inside the home. Daniel Kay, an attorney for the Boyle family, helped file the federal complaint against the city and the 2 officers. The complaint said the officers used excessive force and that James should have been allowed back inside the home since officers were there for a civil matter. They repeatedly tased Mr. Boyle for upwards of 35 seconds straight, and they shot Mr. Boyle in the back when there was no warrant for his arrest, when there was no crime that occurred, said Kay. The federal complaint is seeking monetary damages and changes in education and training at the Fountain Police Department. The DA's office told KOAA it is outside of the office's purview to recommend termination or training for a peace officer, and that those are considerations for individual agencies to address as appropriate. Fountain Police told KOAA it had no further comment on the incident. The story originally appeared on the KOAA news website here. So, yeah, at time of recording, it is February 12th, 2024. This incident occurred May 20, 2023. This video came out just a few days ago. I think maybe 4 days ago is released. So 12, 11, 10, 9. So I think February 8th is when this video came out of 2024. It'll probably be roughly another year before we see anything that may or may not come of this lawsuit that has been filed. So if I happen to come across the outcome of that, I will do an update to this incident and talk about what has occurred, if anything has occurred. If nothing's occurred, then I'm not going to bother with it. But if they made some type of ruling in it or whatever, then I'll obviously do a video and talk about what's going on there. That's it. Not much else to talk about with this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.